Not I'm looking for boy, I'm looking for girl. Then you have children you cannot take care of and they mess up the dynamics of your life. How many children can you raise with 80,000 naira salary? If you like fast, pray, serve God, you know they work like that. That's why many of you have been in church for 10, 15 years. You have served God, you are still poor, and people are thinking God is not faithful. God faithful, now your responsibility too much. God faithful, now your load too much. Lord, when God not give you, you carry out. Because somewhere in your subconscious mind, if this one no make her, this one go make her. You are thinking somewhere in your subconscious mind that these children are my retirement planning. When they grow up, they will take care of me. And Yoruba people are very terrible people. Yoruba people, one of the most terrible people in this country. I'm not a Yoruba man, no. Hello, I'm a kingdom man from Ogun State. Yoruba people will never have money for investment, but they will have money for burial. Yoruba people will now say, that means when the grass cutter grows up, you will begin to suck the children's breast. Incest. That's what Yoruba people believe. Oh, that when I'm old, my children will take care of me. So you mean as you are now, all of you looking at me right now, you are going to be useless for the next 15 years of your life, and you are waiting for those children that you gave birth to come and take care of you. Then something is wrong with you. I'm not your pastor. Go and look for another pastor. Something is wrong with you. Hello? Something is what is wrong with you. So listen and listen well. Do you know why many of us are poor in Africa? It's the black tax you were talking about. Oh, we carry load that does not belong to us. My parents are here. 1997, I called the family meeting. I sat them down and they're still alive. I said, Mommy, Daddy, all my younger ones, I gathered another. I said, look, from today, all these younger ones, they are not my responsibility. I am firstborn. I'm not a breadwinner. You know, it's not scriptural. My parents are here. I called the meeting. I told them, so these are your children. No, they are not my responsibility. All these, you are the firstborn. Take care of your younger one. It's not scriptural. There's nothing like that. And I look at them. I say, Mommy and Daddy, honor your father and mother. It's not a levy. It's not a tax. They are alive. They are here. I called the meeting 1997. I say it's not a levy. It's not a tax. So honor your father and mother is a free will offering. To honor, not to sustain. You know what this whisper? If not with this breast where you suck. Hey, Chinedu, your mama they die for village. Oh. And many of you have carried load that is bigger than you because you don't look back. But you know the amazing thing? Your father had 8, now you have 5. You have not learned any lesson. So listen, this message now, many of you don't already fail, you know. And you can't kill the children you already have. so those of you that have not started in that foolish journey,
because you are comfortable with poverty. Listen, anything you tolerate has the right to remain. I was born into a very poor family. My mother was a civil servant. My father's business had crumbled before I was born. And I remember my mom, each time I'm to resume school back in Africa, having to take me to neighbors to borrow money to send me to school. Including the provision I need to take to school had to be borrowed. And I remember as a teenager, I just hated the condescending way, those people look at myself and our mom. We will leave the place and I'll be angry with my mom. Why are we having to borrow from these people? Can't you see the way they are looking at you? Can't you see the rudeness? And I wanted a way out. Who wants a way out? If you come from Africa where I'm from, you will see that if you are poor, you're going to lie automatically. The day you owe your landlord rent, and the landlord says, hey, give me my money, what will you say? I'm expecting some money. You are not expecting any money. Right? Something is about to happen. Even though you're a Christian, when you struggle to pay your children's school fees, you're going to lie to the school. Right? So, poverty doesn't position you to live a righteous life. No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. And it takes you away from God. It really does. There are people who need to be in this service, but for $30 an hour. True of us. Right? Because of $30 an hour, they cannot be here. They cannot.
I really felt this sense of, I had a strong idea of what I want to do in my life. I'm going to do makeup. I would open makeup studios across Nigeria. And then I wrote it down. And a few months later, I saw Tara's publication. I know we don't have social media like we do now. That Tara was going to do franchising, all of that. I felt like she stole my dream. And she was living my life.
Wow.
But I was like, okay, she's doing it, that means I can do it, you know. I didn't have a plot of land in 2020, not one plot.
Wow.
All my money was in my equipment and everything got burnt. That year was when I bought that car. That car was bought that year. So I felt like, God, you gave me a miraculous car this year. It burnt. All my equipment burnt. No, there must be something from this. Yeah. Because the offer I had got was the best way for you to start. You don't have capital. Yes. You don't have money.
Start as a broker.
You have to be
and I hope everybody's learning. Start as a broker.
Said, be a broker. Start as a
and be loyal at
yes.
it. Dr. Cosmos always says that your mentor can give you wisdom, can give you advice, but he can't give you hunger. And what
you must want it.
Exactly. And what ultimately makes the difference is your hunger.
Yes.
For I tell people, you don't reap what you sow, you reap more than you sow.
Many.
You also may not reap where you sow, but you reap when you sow.
Yeah, you reap that thing you sow.
Two powerful things.
One of the things that I now do as a real estate player is I tell my team that any job that does not give you flexibility to, or that does not give you the ability to determine what you earn, puts a cap on you. Like if you work somewhere,
that's true. I agree.
If I work more, if you tell me,
and my salary is still fixed, despite that I work harder, doesn't make sense.
I want you to give me room so that if I do more, I see the results.
How did I connect with you? I'm trying to remember.
Are you saying you did not remember?
I did not remember.
No way.
I'm telling you.
You obviously, you're very in the media.
Yes.
I don't know if you've been on our show or anything. I don't think so. Okay. But I saw you online and I know you were doing events.
Yes.
And I was asking, you had plenty of brand ambassadors.
Yes.
And they were all men.
Yes.
And I sent you a DM. Wow. And I said, why are all your brand ambassadors men? I'm like,
so what was my reply?
And you said, okay, I should come. Let's talk. It was that simple.
That's very me.
The way God showed up, it was like a case of I needed to burn your past.
Come on.
It was like I needed to burn your attachments. I needed to free you.
Yeah.
Because if I did not experience that fire, I wouldn't do real estate.
That's true.
I was angry.
That's true.
My camera was burnt, makeup was burnt.
That's true.
I started buying foundation and I'm buying.
Yeah.
I was like, there must be something else.
So it's important to know that selling is not putting pressure. It's what is the need for the person. Why should the person invest? What's the benefit for that individual? Does it make sense at all? Product knowledge is not selling. That you say, oh, it's 400 square meter. The house is black, is blue. That's not selling. Anybody can do that one. In fact, people only get concerned about those things after they've made up their mind they will buy. Do you agree with me? For women who are here, typical example, you want to buy a Gucci bag. What was the first thing you think of? Is it not getting convinced you will buy a Gucci bag? Is that not the first thing that comes to your mind? Before we then get to what color will it be? In fact, many times when you are at the shop and you are now seeing how it all look, sometimes you are not even remembering one of your clothes you will match it with. That's where the future comes in, isn't it? But the first thing is that you will buy a... So unfortunately, many of us, what do? We bother everybody about the color. Gucci, it is a blue color. It's a blue Gucci. It is a... No. Convince me first to buy Gucci, right? The last part of the conversation is that which color will it be? What design will it be? So first assignment you have as a good salesperson is to convince the person about the benefit of the product of that
in a country like Nigeria,
to
over
them
200 million people. You might trust it to know that we just have less than 2% of Nigerians that actually have up to 1 million naira in their account. In a world of 200 million Nigerians, I'm interested to know that we have less than 10,000 Nigerians that have $1 million in dollars. I'm interested to know that that's 0.0023%, way less than 0.01%. Of course, less than 0.1%. What's really going on? The difference between the guys at the 1% of the 1% is in one word: ownership. Today's example business is on ownership. Ownership is the ability to own stuff, not just own community, but to also own problems. In a world of 200 million people, the guys who are actually very successful, if you think about it, are the guys that have solved problems that affect more people than others. For example, petrol, food, telecoms. Does it now make sense why these same people are the ones who are among the richest people, the guys who solve these problems? In life and business, ownership is almost everything. Life is like dinner time. You're either on the table or you're on the menu. If you're on the table, you're the one eating. If you're on the menu, you're the one that they're eating. And the people who are eating people are people who own stuff, who own problems, who own communities, who own power. Life is really about ownership. But let's start with the one that it's easy to own, problems. Take one part of Nigeria's problem, stay long enough in it, build competence, build capability, but more importantly, build a brand around solving that problem. Just where you're solving it, just wait.
If you're going to create wealth as a career person, the first thing that will help you is start early. One of the things I believe has helped me as an individual is I started very early. I got born again as a teenager. By the age of 21, I was already a pastor. When many people were still confused about life. Do you know that today there are 30-year-old people telling you, Pastor, how can I discover God's purpose for my life at 30? At 30, over a quarter of a century of your life is gone. You are still confused. So if you want to create wealth as a career person, number one, start early. If you say you want to be an accountant, settle down, go to school, study the accounting, do a chartered accountant, do ACCA, and sit down there and focus. But when you don't start early, you are already on the wrong trajectory. Now listen, for you to begin to earn something serious, and for you to begin to have some other leverages that will help you to become wealthy, you have to move into what we call the senior management. And before you can get there, you need an average of 10 to 15 years of productive engagement in that sector to get there. That's why you should start early. You see a lot of people that have this mindset of as it was in the beginning, so it is and forever shall be. No matter what you say, they say, no, that's not how we do here. This is the way we have been doing it. You can't just come and bring that idea. This is the way we have been doing it. This is the way we have been doing it. And before you know it, they are going down. Because the way you have been doing it will no more work. A lot of things have changed. So many people now have been doing business with brick and mortar system. But now with technology, you have to be able to ensure that whatever you are doing, e-commerce is part of what you are doing. So if you don't have a strong e-commerce platform, you don't have a strong social media platform to leverage on technology to reach people beyond borders, you're going to be limited in the market share that you have. You need to understand where will you be on today. There are three things you can do with your life. You can waste your life, you can spend your life, you can invest your life. Share with you on 50 common money mistakes to avoid in building transgenerational wealth. Listen and listen well. If you're going to build transgenerational wealth, living a life of waste is a major mistake. What do I mean by that? A lot of people lose their health in pursuit of wealth, only to now try to use the wealth to buy back their health. A lot of people waste opportunity. They waste time. They waste their life. They waste resources, only to discover that they end up in a place of lack of fulfillment and in a place of frustration. So living a life of waste is a major mistake you must avoid, because you cannot afford to waste your life. You have one life to live, and if you live it well, one life is enough.